Boom. Happy New Year, everybody. 2024. Are they going by faster? Is that just me? I haven't been streaming recently, families visiting. You know how it goes this time of year. Speaking of, I did want to talk about this. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of Dashfight. Dashfight is what I can only best describe as Event Hubs 2.0 with a fusion of something like the Score Esports. They do content aggregation. They have like a ranking system for players and characters. They have character guides, tier lists, actual event schedules, guides where they actually produce their own content on YouTube, and they do news stories as well. Then on their YouTube page, they do sort of clickbaity kind of discussion content and also certain actual character guides and things of that nature. I'm not sure how I feel about what they provide overall, but they're definitely making an effort to provide something for the FGC. I mean, they have 47k subs, so that they're doing something right. But they've been doing this thing where they do a popularity contest at the end of the year, and they nominate me for Content Creator of the Year. And of course, they have Sage Aim on there, Monger, Guile, GwinQuote, and Theory Fighter as the nominees. And how this is decided, I don't know. Some dude just picks out from a hat a couple people to nominate for this, including other categories like Player of the Year, Event of the Year, Game of the Year, things like that. But for the most part, this wasn't really picking up steam. I don't think anyone who was nominated for any of these things was really too into it. But I ended up winning this popularity contest here, so I didn't really want to just like lean into it too much because nobody really promoted it who was nominated. But I figured I'd use that as more of a jumping off point to just talk about like all the people that I've been watching this year, because I figured, there's no one best at anything and different people provide different value, and I figured why not just use this as an opportunity to kind of share what I've been watching in terms of FGC content this year, and then maybe spread awareness to other people and have other people share who they've been watching as well. So that's kind of what I did with this thread here. This is just people who I've been watching this year. If I didn't list someone here, it doesn't mean that they're not good. It means I either don't watch them personally myself, haven't watched them in a while, didn't feel the need to mention them because they've been doing it for so long, or because I just forgot. So it was a mix of all of those. I figured we'd go through the list and we could talk about a bit about who I mentioned and get through all that. So Dione was the first person who came to mind because I think they had the most growth this year, and their channel has been doing really well, and I've been super impressed with the quality of what he's been putting out. What Dione impressed me with is the fact that he's done kind of what I do with really high quality and across multiple game titles. I've been really impressed with his ability to just like play at a super high level with a lot of games, and the results show because he's been kind of the person to get the worm for every new game. Like, he's been churning out high level guides for these characters across games like Granblue, did it for DNF, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat. He's just kind of been really extremely consistent and being timely with everything that he's doing, which is extremely important. I've been really impressed with that with Dione, and I think this year is where he stepped up and kind of made that happen with his editor. I believe it's Cast is the editor's name, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been working together as a team to make that happen. So Dione is, like, to me, kind of the gold standard right now for doing the high level player plus content creator hybrid thing, which is not necessarily the same thing as being a pure content creator or pure competitive player, but Dione has been like that guy right now, and the fact that he does it across multiple games I think is really impressive. Yeah, he's a quick person to pick up fighting games at a high level. He's very good at all these games. Very, very good. So I've been impressed with him capitalizing not just on his competitive skill, but also translating that to content to provide value to the community and reap the rewards for it, really. So Dione is the one who stuck out as doing super good this year. Theory Fighter, uniquely stylized, tightly edited, deep dives into niche fighting game tech and nuances. I love this channel. Every video is a love letter to the tiny tidbits of fighting games that make them so interesting to explore. Yeah, I love Theory Fighter. So Theory Fighter is a super fun channel for me. There's a new video I haven't watched yet, but every time they drop a video, it's just like another treat. The videos have unique editing style, and he always does things with that super hardcore sludge metal, doom metal vibe and backing soundtrack. And he talks about just like interesting nuances about fighting games and things that make fighting games interesting to me. Kind of like pop tech culture, pop history about fighting games. Really well written and properly paced rants. Rant might not be the best word for it, but he really does argue his side for why he is passionate about certain things in fighting games. In Defense of Infinite Combos, for example, the Magic Pixel, the Forever Tech is about plinking, which I haven't got around to watching yet. I've watched all these videos. I don't know why it doesn't show the bars on all of them, but I love his videos, and he's been regularly churning them out. He also has shorts, and I like the shorts as well. Very good, tightly edited, narrated, discussing something very interesting about a fighting game. Theory Fighter to me is a content creator, right? He's not a streamer. He's not a competitive player doing the hybrid model. He is a content creator. So for sure, I would recommend checking him out if you just want nicely produced YouTube content about fighting games. Of course, I had to do Tampa Never Sleeps. TNS has become the hub for FGC tournament action. Their weeklies are the new standard for online tournament play, and their offline production raises the bar. What ties this all together is their consistent, timely, trimmed, and cleaned YouTube uploads. So since Team Spooky sort of fell back from doing the event production and streaming and YouTube archiving of these events, TNS has really filled that vacuum. And the reason why I put them on there as a content creator is because they finally managed to nail the YouTube game. Team Spooky did push things to YouTube, but it was very much like an archive, and things didn't often have nice titles or thumbnails. They weren't playing the YouTube game to a degree. But you can see here, Tampa Never Sleeps does like maybe 5 or 6 tournaments every week, and they put the entire things onto YouTube, and they get good views. Look at this, 20K, 22K. This is on a 3-hour VOD. These are 3+ hour VODs, and they're cracking 22,000 views. 40,000 views on a 3-hour DNF Duel online tournament 8 days ago. How many decades after it's been released? That's crazy, because they know how to make it interesting. New patch, it's a weekly tournament, catchy thumbnail right here, visually appealing thumbnail. And also when you watch the VODs themselves, they're edited without having any dead air. They cut immediately to the matches. They're all time stamped. They put the characters and the players' names, so you can quickly jump to the parts that you want to, and there's no dead air. You get the juicy bits right there. Like, it's the premium cuts, and it's immediately upload. There's no delay, so it's not like upload replay vultures are going to be eating their lunch and stealing their tournament streams. They do it themselves. So they finally found a way to capitalize on what they produce, and I think this was huge, because this was just a giant waste of content and of money. Basically, it was throwing away money, because they're generating good ad revenue on all these. And also, YouTube is where the biggest audience is. They're introducing a much wider audience of people to tournaments, and they're making this way more popular. They're increasing the popularity of fighting games and the FGC by doing this effectively. So this, to me, is what sets TNS apart. I mean, they run the tournaments amazing. Their offline production is amazing. Their online production is amazing. But it's just, I am so happy to see that they found this formula for success with YouTube, because Twitch is a puddle and YouTube is the ocean. There's no comparison. So Tampa Never Sleeps is a huge success story to me in 2023, and definitely changing the landscape of how online events and tournaments and the content produced from them are handled. Next one up, Broski FGC, another player / content creator who massively improved their quality / consistency in this year. Broski's channel has become not just a source for the highest level Aki gameplay in Street Fighter 6, but also general Street Fighter discussion, advice, all while being impossibly chill. So yeah, it's no surprise I've been a Broski fanboy for quite some time. Obviously, we are brothers in Oro's arm, singular, I suppose. And he's also been playing Aki now. So he's always played very interesting characters. And after the previous year, he used to do mainly just clips, because he would just do gameplay and then post clips from his stream. And then this channel used to be called Broski Clips. Eventually he started posting more and more longer discussion things, or things that he found interesting about fighting games. And eventually he just pivoted towards doing a traditional YouTube channel. Even when he does ranked matches, he knows that he can provide a hook, provide something interesting to get you into the video, and then supply the ranked matches and just gameplay footage to keep you engaged if you're so interested in that sort of thing. In general, you're going to see me praise a lot of people who are doing the competitive player / content creator hybrid thing, which is kind of what I was pushing for, because I think it's a waste not to do it. I think this sort of thing helps grow the FGC. Just having this out there, putting things onto YouTube where there's actually an algorithm and a recommendation system, will catch more random fish in the sea and get them interested in trying out fighting games. So it's just something that I think every top level player should be doing to a degree. So Broski really stepped up that effort this year, and I've been watching him a lot, and I really appreciate him doing that. Number 5, GwinQuote. Deep fighting game dives into the legendary, the retro, and the weird. Interesting discussions and analysis on both beloved and forgotten parts of fighting game history. So GwinQuote, I watched the least on this list because their channel just wasn't recommended to me as much, but I had watched a few of their videos. Like, you know, the most popular one for the Street Fighter audience is Super Turbo is Broken, where they go through a lot of the glitches and weird nuances about Super Turbo. This one I don't believe is narrated. They just use text overlays and explain a bunch of funny glitches and really weird facts about the game. And with old fighting games, there's so much jank to delve into, and it's very interesting to get through and see how messed up these games really were. But he's been doing more videos where he has narration and discuss weird tidbits about fighting game history. And so I looked at a few other ones and I was actually really impressed, and I want to go through and watch more of their videos. Basically, I watched a couple of their videos and it just never turned up on my algorithm. Then when they were nominated, I actually went through their channel more recently and was like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on here. So kind of like Theory Fighter, GwinQuote is a content creator, produced for YouTube, delving into passionate topics where they're nerding out about things that they really care about. And I think those are, you know, obviously very entertaining sort of YouTube channels to go into. So GwinQuote is definitely one to check out for sure. And that I started watching just later this year, really. Number 6, this one was controversial. Punk the God. If you follow Street Fighter, you know Punk. His channel features him dominating with any character who feels like dabbling with that day, reviews of competitive developments from all over the world, exploring other games, and his boisterous personality. Punk the God is a channel that I don't watch that often because it's not for me, is what I would say. But I do definitely check out his videos when he's playing like certain tournament characters, or just to see what he's doing with a certain character at a certain point, because he just plays every character so freaking good. The thing about Punk the God is, even though, you know, he's a bit rambunctious, you know, I prefer kind of a more chill vibe. I think Punk is doing the right thing and capitalizing on his talent, his personality, and doing the pipeline that more players should be doing. Now, I'm not saying that every top level player should have their thumbnails with their face plastered all over it and, you know, constantly pumping out very YouTube-y content like this, but I think there needs to be a pipeline where if you are practicing as a top level player, it is a waste in this environment to at least not package it for YouTube and to consistently put to YouTube. So Punk's consistency is something that I think should be really respected in this regard. And, you know, with Panda collapsing, it could have been easy for him to pack up shop and kind of give up on the content game, but instead he doubled down and built his own brand up and became, you know, his own content vehicle without Panda behind it. So that was really good to see as well. So in general, I just feel like top level players should be looking at what Punk's doing to a degree. They don't necessarily have to take the exact approach. It's very YouTube-y, and I understand that to some people, they see this format of content and they have an immediate visceral negative reaction to this sort of thing. But I think that more people should be doing this. We need our top level players to be taking advantage of YouTube, because I guarantee you Punk has brought so many more people into the FGC space by doing what he does, because he has a lot of reach. He consistently puts out content. So anyone who really takes advantage of that and implements that, I respect and I want to highlight. Number 7, Nephew Dork, another player picking up the content creator mantle and becoming extremely consistent with their output, high-level Street Fighter 6 gameplay with a wide variety of characters, tutorials, insightful discussions, and random select nonsense. Much like Punk, I think, and Dione, I would say, I think Nephew has really stepped up this year in doing the whole content creator competitive player thing. You know, he qualified for Capcom Cup. He's doing really good. And I love that he also takes a little bit of extra effort on top of his videos sometimes. He does do like opening cutscenes in a lot of these, and you know, he does, you know, talk to the audience and present the concept of the video. He knows how to raise the stakes, doing first to 10 with Justin Wong with random select. He does things where he reviews match footage from certain tournament players. So he's not just taking his stream footage and packaging it for YouTube. He is creating content with a specific goal in mind. Getting master rank in Street Fighter 6 with the steering wheel. So there's also like goofy stuff that he does as well, on top of just beating ass and being really good. So I really respect Nephew for picking this up and doing that. And he's got to master rank with every single character. He's done a bunch of different tournament runs. I really respect that Nephew has been consistent with this as well. So anyone doing this pipeline when they're a competitive player, I think it's a waste when they don't do it, and Nephew is doing it really well this year, and I've been definitely checking out his videos. So shout out to Nephew, picking up the content creator mantle and running with it. And then number 8, FGC Angry Bird plus Big Bird FGC. The Birds have been at the top of the Street Fighter competitive scene for years, and this year worked their way to the top of the content game. Their channel is the poster child for how every high-level player's hub for their work should be. Look at this. So ending it on the quote from Angry Bird when he's doing his guides, which have become iconic already. So basically, they just started streaming together, and they had their editor take the wheel and put it onto YouTube. They mostly just play sets on their stream and talk with the chat, and oftentimes one of them is playing, one of them is discussing with the chat. They know how to package the content. I hate DJ, so it's Angry Bird looking angry about DJ, and he's playing sets with Cien. Right? When you do YouTube, you can't just say first to 10 Cien, 12, 13, 23. You have to play the YouTube game to a degree, and they know how to play that. Now, do I love the hyperbole here? Do I love the broken question mark thumbnail? Like, I don't particularly like that hyperbole with leaning into things being broken and, oh my god, this is unstoppable, this is the best, this is the worst, this is like, I'm not a huge fan of that myself, because I think that can lead to negative discussions and negative understandings of the community about balance, and I think it can kind of poison the well a little bit in the community for those less informed. However, I cannot deny that it works for YouTube really well, but you know, that's just my personal taste. But overall, I love that they're doing this. They literally just got an editor who knew what the fuck he was doing to take what they're doing and put it onto YouTube. The only thing I'm a bit questionable about is they've been straight up re-uploading Street Fighter League. So, you know, I ain't no snitch on this, but that's kind of like legal. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if they got a contract out with Street Fighter League or nothing. They've taken the approach that if they're in the footage, they can upload on their YouTube channel. Ugh. I don't know how long that's going to fly. We'll see. And so, yeah, like I mentioned before, a lot of the people on this list are not like direct content creators. They're more of competitive players / content creator hybrids. And I'm very biased towards that because I am invested in the competitive player scene, and that's kind of the stuff that I enjoy seeing. And I also want to promote that, to promote more players to do that. But I understand that, you know, not everyone's into that. More people are into less of the streamer YouTube creator hybrid, and they want more things that are specifically created with, you know, a lot of effort into a singular video rather than consistency and frequency of uploads. So that's where you got to check out people like Theory Fighter and GwinQuote from this list. But then I also mentioned other people. Like I was just trying to mention as many as I could remember. I mentioned Sajam. Everyone watches Sajam. It would be redundant for me to put him high up on the list, I feel like. JM Crofts. I actually really enjoy JM Crofts' channel. He does a lot of really interesting deep dives into some retro games, and especially his Marvel 2 stuff. Like I really enjoy when he does Marvel 2 stuff, where he goes into interesting facts about certain characters and how they operate, and then shows some matches with them. Like he does really good pop culture fighting game dives, and I really actually enjoy them. I feel like I probably should have gave a separate post to him, but he's very successful and very well known. So I also felt that like that might have been a little bit redundant, but he's super positive, super chill, and I actually really enjoy his channel a lot, especially when he goes into MVC2. MVC2 is one of his strongest games. Like it's really in his wheelhouse, where he really knows a lot of interesting facts about the game, and that game is just an infinite well of funny, jank, broken bullshit. Justin Wong, he's been killing it. He does more of the content creator / player hybrid thing, but with retro games. So if you're into retro, like he is the channel to watch. And he's just extremely consistent. And the biggest thing that I love that he's done is the Man on the Street challenge. I think this format is so freaking smart and so amazing. Can pro players complete KOF 13 combo trials? Can tournament players beat Alpha 1 Akuma? The Man on the Street format of just getting a microphone, getting a challenge, and having people walk up to try to complete the challenge. This is something that just is beyond the scope of fighting games. This is just what connects people. It's such a tried and true format, and to finally bring this to a tournament and to get people from the tournament to stop by and try something out, try a challenge, it makes so much. It's like almost so obvious, but nobody has done this before. These kind of videos are what's gonna bring a lot more people into the FGC as well. So many people outside of the sphere of the FGC can enjoy these things, and even if they don't exactly get what's going on in the fighting game itself, They can see the stakes there. They can see people try, see the reactions from multiple people. And there's a human element to it. It's live. You get the reactions. It just makes too much sense. Kizzy K for my anime fix. So Kizzy, I want to give a shout out to him. He's been doing a lot more than just his traditional, like, competitive player, streamer, YouTuber hybrid. He has been doing that, of course, holding it down, but also he's been running another channel. Yeah, Fighting Game Select. So this used to be the Panda YouTube channel, but he picked it back up and started doing his own videos on the channel and having more long form discussion videos. And I think that's super important to do because a lot of people use YouTube as background noise, or their viewing habits are actually more based on the audio. And I find myself actually spending most of my time, if I'm consuming something from YouTube, I'm listening to it. I might throw it on when I'm on the treadmill without looking, or I might be listening to it while I'm doing the dishes or other chores or something like that, right? He started to use his channel to do a lot more discussion videos with other collaborators and having longer podcasty style videos where, you know, it has visual edits and things to keep you entertained if you're watching with your eyes, but a lot of it is discussions with different people for different perspectives. And he picked this up and started running this channel. So I think that's really awesome that he did that. And he's managing multiple channels like that. So I think Kizzy is really putting the work in this year and make something happen here. You know, the Panda situation was unfortunate for the players and the staff members affected when Panda exploded, and he's been trying to do something good with the foundation that was left behind. So I want to give a big shout out to Kizzy for that. Idom is another one doing the traditional fighting game player slash content creator hybrid route. I really appreciate that he's been consistent about this. He's also been making a big effort to do more discussion things and to offer some advice, some tutorials as well, and you know, really just capitalize on being good. He's been also getting out of his shell a little bit. You know, before doing YouTube and Twitch, Idom did not talk that much. He was definitely reserved. But I've seen Idom go into content creator mode where he actually tries to say, hey, what's up, YouTube? And starts to express and verbalize his thoughts, you know, more than 5 words a minute. And that's really impressive to me. So I respect that Idom is making that effort and working in that direction. So Idom, definitely, it's a big shout out for me. Pick a top tier though, but for sure. And then Nemo is one of the pioneers of doing the content creator competitive player hybrid from Japan. So Nemo, I've been really enjoying his YouTube channel. He also has, maybe I should have specified, huh? So he's been putting out things like guides. He's been putting out ranked matches, and you know, they're funny. Like, he has funny thumbnails, funny reactions, and you know, he's packaging it for YouTube, and he puts out guides here and there for little obscure techniques, like stuff that really high level players can benefit from. Even this Daigo Umahara is the throw loop god. English subs, please stop throw looping me. No, whoever is doing the editing with him gets it. He's bridging the gap between Western and Japanese fighting game audiences with this channel. So I really enjoy this channel, and I definitely tune in. I mean, I'm trying to copy paste all of the JP tech from Nemo himself. So I think this is awesome to see, and I would love if more Japanese players produce content like this for the Western FGC so that I can steal more of their tech. But you know, I wanted to give a big shout out to Nemo for that. And that's all who I mentioned there, because that's all I remembered at the time. So, you know, I said there's too many for me to mention all, and still plenty of other great creators out there right now doing cool stuff. So please feel free to share / give a shout out to someone who you watch and want to support. Zaffino was in there. Zaffino I definitely would put on there, but he definitely didn't upload enough this year for me to think about. That's me picking Zaffino in the ass right there to put out more stuff. Zaffino is a great teacher, philosopher of fighting games, and I definitely love when he does content, but I want him to do more. So people were recommending other things like Babe Ruthless, who does video essay things about fighting game topics, which I thought was actually pretty good. I never watched their videos before, and I actually checked them out because of this. People mentioned Rubbish. Rubbish I actually forgot about. I do enjoy Rubbish's videos. Rubbish is a content creator. He does really well edited, highly produced video essays about different fighting game topics. And I think I watched this one, Pandora's Hitbox, where he discusses hitbox from more of a Tekken perspective, right? So I think the big hitbox debate kind of died down by the time this video came out, but this video is amazingly well edited, so you should check it out. He makes a lot of great points in there, even though he directly disagrees with me. I think he mentioned, he shows a clip of me ranting about hitbox at one point in this video. I disagree with a lot of things in this video as an argument, but he also makes a lot of great points about hitbox. And I think from a Tekken perspective, there's a lot more of a point to be made about lowering the execution barrier. But regardless of what you think of where he stands, it's amazingly well produced. I'm not going to show the video, check it out. So Rubbish, I actually have been watching, so I just forgot about them. They don't put out videos that often because these videos take so freaking long to make because they're so well edited. So I would definitely check out Rubbish. Leaving out Monger makes me question everything. Is this AI? So that was a weird way to say, hey, check out Monger. Monger, I've just never watched myself. So I don't, they were nominated. I think they've been doing really well, but I don't think this is targeted towards me. I think Monger is more a general fighting game channel for entry-level people who are getting into games. So I think that serves a great purpose, but wasn't really for me. So I didn't think about it. It's not a channel that I actively watch, but shout out to Monger. Dew's chair will remember this. Dew is someone I want to give a shout out to as well. So Dew has been making an effort to really get into the content game. Now, I'm not sure about the stream 24/7 and leave the chair up while auto playing other people's replay compilations. But he's been doing a lot more content production, putting things on YouTube, which I would love to see even more effort on the YouTube channel, but doing also the Arm the Rebels Cup with his sponsor and doing the tournaments and producing that. So that's awesome to see Dew being involved like that. And then he posted these sets with Kakadu, and I watched that in full. I said, thanks for uploading my new Bible so I can steal all the tech. Spoilers, I'm going to spoil this set right now, the two sets between Dew and Kakadu. Knuckle Dew loses with Cammy 5-4, but Kakadu lost to his Guile 5-3. I thought the matchups were a little bit reversed. I don't know. I thought Cammy was the counter pick and Guile was the bad matchup. Listen, I had to squeeze in my JP downplay right there. I just had to. And other people I didn't mention Desk. I don't know. It didn't come to my mind in the moment. Also, Desk, I feel like it's kind of everywhere. Maybe I'm assuming too many people already know about Desk, because to me, Desk has been around for so long and has been so established, and I've known them since the very beginning. They're one of the original content creators 15 years ago doing things, so I didn't really think to mention them. It's just assumed that they're around, which I shouldn't make that assumption. I definitely could have shouted them out. Lord Knight is definitely another one that I totally forgot to bring up. That was a big miss on my part. Lord Knight has been cooking for quite some time now as well, and has been really stepping it up as well. So Lord Knight is one that I kind of missed out on mentioning. Even Smug I haven't watched as much recently, but Smug has still been uploading. He's been playing more Street Fighter 6 as well. He's been doing his retro stuff as well. So Smug is still around. Some people mentioned CoreA Gaming. I didn't mention CoreA Gaming because they haven't uploaded anything this year, have they? So once again, CoreA Gaming, of course, I've seen every video like 5 times. I didn't mention them because I didn't watch them this year. They had no videos this year. What CoreA produces is really time involved and costly and takes a lot of effort. So yeah, it's a big event when they upload, but it's not something that comes out frequently. Mura? Yeah, what is it? Is it MC Mura? I've seen a couple of their videos. Yeah, I subscribed a while ago. I remember giving him some feedback on his thumbnails to help him out. So MC Mura has been putting out some guides, doing some retrospectives as well. Yeah, I watched some of his Street Fighter 5 videos. It's been a while. I haven't really seen too many of his Street Fighter 6 videos that he's put out. I forgot about Papa Lobster. He's done a lot of retrospective story videos about historic like MBC3 moments. Oh, there he did the LHO moment. Snake Eyes taking on NorCal 5v1 or SoCal 5v1. So I watched mostly his Marvel ones because I love MBC3. He found a niche, like telling the stories of our competitive past and packaging them and really engaging in entertaining ways. Like these are stories that I've all seen firsthand, and he's retelling them for a new generation. So this was so different from just a few years ago. You know, Broski, he mentioned that video where I was ranting about other people not producing content and FGC streamers suck. This video was from 2021, and even in this times, just 2 years ago, the landscape of content creation has changed so much in that time, and so many more players are doing the competitive player / content creator hybrid and producing things for YouTube. TNS really stepped up during this time, and there's more people producing specialized content. So it's really awesome to see that more and more people are making that effort and doing things on YouTube instead of just keeping it in a bubble on Twitch. Basically, I'm just happy that we have options these days. So watch some content for Street Fighter, for fighting games in general. If you have anyone that you are interested in, let people know. Do you check out those? This player is godlike 2100 MR plus videos, like random replay channels? Not really. Back in the Street Fighter 4 days, that used to be all you watched. There was Yoga Flame was one of them, and there was another one who did really good replay channels, and they would basically upload all the top Japanese players, and you would watch them and be like, whoa, because you didn't know any of that was possible.